Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to show you my 5 favorite stretches for splits. I know that a lot of us are working on moving towards that flat 180-degree splits line right now. So these stretches are really going to help you achieve that goal. Or if you already have your flat split, they're going to help you move towards that nice over split. I want to remind you, as always, to stretch in a nice warm room or else wear lots of extra layers so that your muscles are all warm and cozy and relaxed. And your stretches should feel uncomfortable, like you are actually working and stretching, but they should never have a sharp pain. So if you feel a sharp pain, back out of it, give it a rest, come back to it another time. The most important thing is to accept where you are today. Remember that progress is not just a straight stairway up to your goal. There's going to be days where you're better and days where you're worse, and then a little better and then a little worse. But if you're persistent and you keep at it, you are going to reach that goal. Most important thing is to do what you can today and not get frustrated if it's not necessarily better than yesterday. Remember to have proper form. That's how you're really going to get the benefit out of any stretch, is to have good alignment so that you can get deep into your muscles. If you're kind of cheating it and just flopping into something that maybe looks a bit more flexible but is not the correct alignment, in the end, you're not going to get as much out of the stretch. So you're actually going to move towards your goals more quickly by really focusing on having that proper alignment, even if it means that your leg's not as high or you're not as low when you're split. So let's move on to our stretches. Start with your feet hip width apart and place your palms on the ground. If you can't reach the ground, that's okay. Just reach towards the ground. And go as far down as you can go and move your hips side to side. So if you want, you can walk out to a little downward dog action, pushing your heels towards the ground. And when you're ready, you're going to place one foot forward and one foot back so that you've got this nice triangle between your legs. You've got 2 really straight legs with the front of your legs engaged, so don't forget to engage these muscles. You also are pushing your chest towards your knee. Don't think about pushing your head down because this doesn't really do anything with your back this bent. You really want to keep a flat back and have your chest coming towards your knee. Also, make sure that this hip in the back is not opening up like this to the ceiling. You want to have it nice and aligned and pushed towards the ground. So don't let it roll up. Keep rolling it down towards the ground. When you're ready, you can switch sides. Another great variation of this stretch is to flex your foot and take it side to side. Or you can come out and go back in. I like to move as much as possible in all of my stretches because I think it helps me loosen up my muscles quickly. So I'll do a lot of little micro pulses like this, or I'll do the come out and come in, anything that gives me a little bit of movement while I'm stretching. And we're going to move into our next stretch, which is a lunge. You can either have your back knee up or you can put it down. I prefer down. Think about pushing your hips forward and having this hip of your back leg again rolled forward. So you don't want to open it up too much. You want to push it forward. You can even use your hand. Also lift up your chest and your shoulders so that you're really pushing into your hip flexor, the front of that thigh. If you want, you can reach back, lift up your foot, pull your foot. That's a great one for the front of your thigh. The reason this is a great stretch for a split, as we change legs, is you have to have a back leg in your split. We always focus on the front leg and hamstring flexibility, but I think a lot of times we forget you also have to bend here. You have to bend in your hip flexor to get that back leg in your split. So this is a great one for that. And I'm pulling on my foot because I want to stay even on both sides. Next, I'm going to come into a nice hamstring stretch. So I'm going to try to keep my hips, again, square. You'll notice a theme with this. So don't let it open up, keep it square. You want to have your hip over your knees, nice straight leg, flex your foot, pull your toes back, and most importantly, have a flat back. You should have a nice flat back here, so don't try to go down. Think about just having a flat back. I'm very hyperextended in this area of my body. And even for me, I feel it when I'm just this low with a nice flat back. Even if you're up here, that's fine as long as you're feeling the stretch in the back of your hamstring. Again, you can try taking your foot side to side, switch it up, and side to side. You can pull your toes back a little bit more if you want. That really makes this a little bit more intense. And we're going to move into our fourth stretch. On your back, you are going to lift up one leg and keep the other leg flat on the mat. That is the most important part of this, and I'll show you why in a minute. You're going to lift up, flex your foot or point your foot, just make sure it's not relaxed, doing whatever it wants. Pick one. Flex is a little bit more challenging. You can pull the back of your knee or your calf or your heel, whatever feels good. And if you are up here, that is totally fine as long as you have the good, correct positioning. It's all about the position and not how far your legs go for these kinds of stretches. So we're going to switch legs. Make sure that your leg is right in front of your shoulder, so you shouldn't have it too open or too crossed. And importantly, that bottom leg that is flat to the ground. This is why. If I bend that leg and cheat, you can see my hips lift up and my leg goes back, but I don't feel the stretch anymore. If I straighten that leg, press into the ground, my hips go down, my back's more flat, and this leg does go up, but I'm stretching so much better. So it's better to have a leg that's farther away from you than one that is out of alignment. And we're going to finish up with a nice actual split, but we're going to put a lot of thought into how we do it. So first you're going to check, ooh, balance, hello. You're going to check that your hips are both pointing directly forward. So you don't want to have open up like this. You're going to make sure that your leg is right in front of you, directly in front of you, and your back leg is pointing straight back. And finally, you're going to slide down. If this is as far as you can go, that's totally fine as long as your hips are nice and aligned. Go down as far as you can. Push that hip forward. Really don't let it open up because this is just sitting on my thigh. This is not actually a split. So you want to make sure that you're really pushing that hip forward. If you're an overachiever, you can tuck your back toes and try pushing that back leg up. Make sure that you're really lifting your shoulders and your chest. And let's try the other direction. Put that leg nice and straight in front of my shoulder, right in front of me. Hips nice and square. And I'm going to slide down. For me, for my body, I have more flexibility with my hamstrings, and it's more difficult for me to stretch things like an arabesque where I'm bending that back leg up. So I have to really focus on having my shoulders and my chest nice and lifted and up because this doesn't stretch me, but this does. So you have to learn things like that about your own body. And we're going to finish up with just a little cool down exercise. Put your feet in front of you. You're going to shake it out. This is a great time to roll out with a tennis ball or a foam roller if you have one. And then you're going to reach forward and grab the pads of your feet and pull up and then relax. And pull up and then relax. And you've done all of your split stretches. Yay! This is really gonna keep you moving towards that ultimate splits goal that you have. Having the correct alignment in all of these, even if they're not the most showy stretches, it's gonna get deep inside of your muscles and really help you move towards having that crazy split that we all want. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please take a minute and subscribe to my channel because I have lots of aerial tutorials and more stretching videos and conditioning videos, all kinds of stuff. Plus, we have a really great community of people over there. So come and join us and subscribe and get some aerial inspiration and some more fun things to do in the air.